Welcome to Beyond the Ball. I am Colly, and this week I am joined by Conor. Conor, what's the crack?
What's going on?
Ooh, up the ra. Say ooh, up the ra. Ooh,
Good start.
Ireland are still shit, Conor.
Yeah, they're still shit.
Don't have your surprise for that. Yeah,
no,
don't have your surprise
really.
for that. We're going to be looking at that. We have a few fans' opinions on the matter. We'll be looking at it. We'll be talking about it. We'll have a look at fantasy football and we'll give our score predictions for the weekend. So we're going to jump straight into the Irish review with this great graphic. I actually, do you know what? It's more the fans' opinion, but I would prefer to use that one because it's like a 2-on-1 here. We're killing two birds with one stone. So, yeah, it's a fan's opinion.
Shocking. It's fucking shocking. No matter what it is, it's fucking shocking.
Right. Okay. I don't like you starting me fucking graphics. Already. I work very hard on them. Right.
Does it look like it?
I know. I don't need to know that. The first one in, we're going to look at it. We have a couple of comments in here. We'll go through them. Some of them are similar enough. We'll comment on them and we'll see. First one in is from Luke Collette 24. Graham Potter. So basically, just so
what was the question?
Yeah, I was just gonna say sorry. Just as a reference, so everybody knows what I'm talking about. I just asked for their opinion on Stephen Kenny. Should he be sacked? And thoughts on the performances, and then who they think we should get in as the next manager. So obviously, Luke is referring to Graham Potter as the next manager. Conor, would you like Graham Potter in there, or Chris Potter as we call
him? I mean, he can't fuck anything really badly up. We're already at the bottom, so like, where else can he bring us? Like to lose against Gibraltar, that's about as low as he can go. Like that's the only place left.
Does he?
So yeah,
like he had Ferguson at Brighton. I don't know if he even played him. Did he? Did he play him?
Yeah, I think he did.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe he would be a good option. I don't think that's a project that he'd be interested in, though. I don't think it's. No, so I think that's great. I think that was more a kind of a fucking backhanded comment, to be honest, which would take the piss out of me a little bit. But
you're usually looking at someone who's like at the end of their managerial career who just wants to work like 12 weeks a year, whatever it is, or an international manager who's like always been an international manager. Do you know?
Yeah. Okay, is that flicking for you or is that just on me?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
You as well? Okay, that's okay. I'm just making sure that wasn't just me. Right, so the next one in, hey, you can read this one if you want.
Aaron Singleton, long-term commenter, has come in with useless prick, should have been sacked last year. Neil Lennon is my first choice and Carsley would be my second.
What do you think of that one? Like, first of all, is he a useless prick? I believe he is. I would agree that he is a useless prick. A useless prick? That'll be edited out. Also, the way I said that. Should he have been sacked last year? I think so. I didn't think he should have got the Euros. Maybe you would have given him this one. You were happy to give him this one, weren't you?
I wasn't happy. I just have to be realistic. We're never going to get rid of him during the contract. We're always going to let something renew. He's at the end of a contract. They haven't got to pay him out. They haven't got to pay the rest, but they paid it already. To know they just don't have to renew it. It's a cheaper way of doing it, and it gives you a bit more time. Yeah. So I would have liked to have seen him gone, but I knew it just wasn't going to happen, regardless of what happened.
Yeah. Neil Lennon in as my first choice. I did say that to somebody, Neil Lennon, and they hadn't heard it, and so. I was surprised they hadn't heard it because I thought he was one that was kind of highly talked about. But what do you think of Neil Lennon coming in there?
No, don't want him.
Do you not know? Why?
No, don't want him. He's gone through clubs more recently and hasn't had, let's just say, the greatest run at clubs to the point where he ended up in Cyprus. Come on, you can't be dealing with that shit.
I know.
Lee Carsley, who the English are fighting tooth and nail to keep. If you can get someone like Lee Carsley, who the FA themselves probably see as a replacement for maybe not Gareth Southgate, but maybe after the next manager, let's fucking steal him off them. Do you know, bring him back.
But do you not think Neil Lennon, although he's probably fallen down the pecking order a bit in terms of like club managerial performances, but do you not think he kind of still commands that little bit of respect because what he done with Celtic and the connection with Ireland and Celtic? Do you not think that players, well, especially now, they would relish playing underneath under him, like especially with fucking Kenny there at the moment, like who they probably don't have the respect for that they probably would for Neil.
Well, but the same token, then let's bring back Martin O'Neill.
I'll bring back.
He did more at Celtic than Neil Lennon did.
Yeah,
they're both Nordies.
Yeah,
but like that's not going to happen. I don't think we're going to go down the road of here's one that don't appease the fans because he used to manage Celtic.
Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers, Big Ange used to manage Celtic.
Let's get Big fucking Ange in. What about Big Sam and get him in? He's from fucking Waterford or something, or Limerick or something. I can't remember where.
He used to manage Limerick.
Manage Limerick. So come on, like get fucking Big Sam. He has to connect. We have the connections there. So Carsley, you think would be a good appointment? Although the under-21s is obviously a massive thing for him in terms of his career and what his achievements are, but it's pretty much all he's done. It was a similar, I'm not going to say, I'm not even going to compare it because obviously Kenny.
You're going to say it was similar to Stephen Kenny, even though he never was involved.
Yeah. It was just similar that he was doing well at 21s and then came in. But
he had signed to be the senior manager before he took over 21s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is fucking bullshit. The biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard. So you would be happy with Carsley coming in then?
I would. I don't think he'd be too expensive. He knows the setup. He played for Ireland for the best part of 6 or 7 years, I think.
Yeah.
Making that move would show that he wants to change things because he could sit on his arse with the FA after winning the Euros and just do nothing for another couple of years and still make a bracket. But he doesn't want to do that, and he wants to go and do something at Ireland, like fair play. I think you might win some of those under 21 players who kind of float in the balance between Ireland and England, right? Who want to play for him. So that doesn't hurt, if players want to come and play for Ireland so they can play for him.
What do you think is a bigger role, the England under 21 manager or the Irish full senior team manager?
The bigger job is Ireland. Senior football, I still think, is bigger, but he has some expectations on a shoulder 21 level with the FA, like especially after doing what they've done. He has to qualify for every event. He has to go deep into every tournament. Like there's probably a massive expectation there. So you probably get away with that a little bit. Like he gets 2 campaigns in Ireland and he has to qualify for one of them. That's pretty much what we say. They have a Euros, have a World Cup, qualify for one, you're a national hero, qualify for neither, and we'll just find someone else. Like that's,
exactly.
That's all you have to do.
Don't lose them. There's no pressure really, is there? Like you come in with no fucking pressure. Okay, right, on to the next one is Kieran Styles 516. One of our English fans, Irish fans are deluded he needs to go ASAP. This coming from a outside perspective of what they're seeing. They're just seeing results and they're not seeing the other stuff that goes out. He didn't
the nice football.
I'm not sure how well up to date he would be on his League of Ireland. But it's coming from an outside perspective where someone is just basically judging that manager off the results he's got. And to be fair, he's fucking spot on, because I would have said the same thing, that the Irish fans are somewhat deluded, especially the diehard League of Ireland's, who are like, he's one of our own, blah, blah, blah. They'd stick to him. Look, I respect the shit out of it because they're trying to stick with him as much as they can. But sometimes you just have to call a spade. And if you're not getting the results, look, it's a performance-based game.
A spade, or a manager, a useless prick.
Yeah, one. I mean, it's the same thing in this scenario. So, Irish fans deluded. Do you think there is that bit of deludedness in the, perhaps more the League of Ireland fans than realistic fans?
I mean, it's hypocritical, I think, coming from Kieran if he is English, because England went through the same thing after Capello. We can't have another foreign manager. We have to have an England manager. We have to have an English manager. We have to have an English manager. And they went down this road of pigeonholing themselves into just picking from a selection of England managers. They got Big Sam, fell apart. So like they got pigeonholed. I think we went that way after Trapattoni. We said we wanted an Irish manager. Martin O'Neill, close enough, I guess, right? It's in that ballpark, and that's kind of where we wanted to go down, was someone who was born and bred, seeing the game, seeing the league, as you said. I don't think we can pigeonhole ourselves like that. Again, if the best man for the job happens to have come from the League of Ireland or played in the League of Ireland or whatever it is, happy days. But if Antonio Conte for example, is sitting in his hole and wants the job, you can't say no because you've never played for fucking Sligo Rovers, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. One that you were saying there about them kind of picking from English managers. An English manager hasn't won the Premier League since 1992, and it wasn't the Premier League back then. Is that not a bizarre fucking stat? Like, to have your own league and your own managers haven't won it since 29 years.
Who was the last one? Kevin Keegan, was it?
31 years. Sorry, I'm fucking thinking. Howard Wilkinson.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Howard Wilkinson was the last person to win it, apparently. I say allegedly because we half our fact check our stuff here, so that could be completely wrong.
my brain is ticking, like thinking.
Yeah, that's what I was like Kevin Keegan. I was like, no, stop on that one. Right, we'll go on to the next one then, will we?
Yeah, let's crack on.
Okay, right, you can read it out there.
Sam Kenny 45 said, I like his brand of football at times.
Nice, air quotes.
He's not built for this job. Out for me. I don't care who comes in. Jesus Christ.
Get the local PE teacher.
Maybe Kenny will just come back in as like Guy Incognito with like a little mustache.
And a big nose and the glasses.
Yeah.
Classic. Talking about that one, the brand of football. Conor, talk to me about his brand of football. Did it work at Ireland? It's obviously not worked at Ireland, but did you see it as one-dimensional, or did you just see it as a manager that has his own philosophy and wants to stick to that philosophy and will do whatever it takes to try make that work?
A bit of both. It is very one-dimensional. Like, I don't know if you've been watching the coverage for the last two games on Virgin Media, but Shay Given was on. Yeah, and I cannot stand Shay Given's punditry. He hasn't got a fucking clue. He hasn't got a fucking clue about football. I don't know how you can be so good at goal and not have a clue. But he was dead right about, like, you need to change something up. You either go long, you start going diagonal, you start going into the channels. You put two big men up top and you see what you can do. But when you're getting bashed by the Greeks at home, you kind of need to change something up. And I don't think we have that plan B or plan C in the locker like McCarthy used to have, where he used to throw Gary Doherty up front. Gary Doherty go from centre half to centre forward. We start throwing the ball into the box, and it caused fucking havoc. Like, nice football is nice. Nice football very rarely wins games, and for me, rather see an Ireland team win or be difficult to beat
100%.
and go to tournaments and put up a bit of a fight, as opposed to seeing them getting turned over by Greece at home because they spread the ball around the back for 25 minutes. And then it's like he doesn't even set the team up to play that style of football when you can play it against teams. Like, I went to the Azerbaijan at home game a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago now. He played five at the back, and you're like, that's your prime moment to play a back four, or even like an actual back three, press up the pitch, play your nice football and tear the Azerbaijanis apart. But it's like we sat in against Azerbaijan at home. This is like, doesn't make sense. Does not be sitting at home to Portugal or Germany or France. Yeah. But needs a plan B.
But like the one thing as well that used to get to me is that we used to always have the Irish fans are still doing it now, and then like you'd see even one or two of the comments coming in. We don't have the players to do it, so why are we trying to play it like that? Because you need talented footballers to do that type of thing. You need to have defenders who are comfortable with the ball at their feet. You need a goalkeeper who needs to be comfortable with the ball at his feet. But then you need them midfielders to drop deep, and you need to be able to have them as ball playing midfielders. Now look, Josh Cullen and stuff like that, like they're actually decent enough ball players, so they can get the ball down and then they can move the ball and they can move it around. But if you don't have your whole team buying into that philosophy and you don't have the confidence in each other, you won't even pass the ball to each other. And then what happens is you get your players dropping deep, you end up fucking launching it, and you don't even hit the striker. You hit that fucking that second line, and it becomes very easy for the other team to regain possession. So you lose out, I think, a lot if you just don't fully commit to it. And to me, it didn't look like they were fully committed to it. Only maybe sometimes with the defensive line and the midfielders weren't buying into it, I didn't think.
We don't have the quality to play tiki-taka where a team is set. we haven't got someone with that creative pass or
Yeah.
that movement that can break like a bank of four and a bank of four down. It's not in there.
Yeah.
We can play that football on a breakaway or on a counter attack. The Greeks did against us. The Greek second goal, they went from back to front in like 3 passes. You know, like it wasn't launched into the corner. They picked passes that happened to be longer because they hit us on the counter because they soaked up pressure for 2 or 3 minutes. That's what Ireland used to do. Like Shane Long against Germany, we soaked up loads of pressure.
Launch it over
we
the
didn't.
top.
We didn't launch you. It was a good pass that picked out Shane Long into space, so we got it and scored. Like, so I don't know why we can't. It's not ugly football. It's not load the box, have one fella sit deep, and then just bomb the ball in. It's like, let's soak up a little bit of pressure. What we do generally, what we typically would have done well, is not
pull the team onto you, isn't it? You just draw the team in a little bit, like. And
have people like Ogbene up top or on the wing.
Yeah.
He's been phenomenal in the 2 games.
Yeah.
We just want space to run into, and that's like prime example. Let's draw everyone in and let's fucking put the ball into the corner.
And like it's just, I thought it just became a pride thing with Kenny then, where he stuck to his guns, and like I said, I kind of half respect it because he's just saying, "No, bollocks to that. We're doing it my way. It's my way or the highway." But it didn't work out. But like sometimes just mix it up a little bit, and that's what we're saying there. Like it has to be like that's where the one-dimensional kind of talk comes into it, where just mix it up a little bit. It was the same thing over and over and over and over, and it just stopped working eventually. Like, I mean, it never really work, to be honest. So,
like when you see like on paper, surely we have a better team than the Greeks
and Luxembourg and Lithuania and fucking all these other teams that we've lost.
In a team that's turned us over and made a show of us twice, like 6 points gone. We got bashed in Athens, and we got they done us in Dublin at the weekend. On paper, we've got a better team than them. Like, they have maybe 2-3 players who get into an Ireland team, but
when you think about
how are they turning us over and then putting it up to the Dutch last night, and pushing the Dutch close for that playoff position.
But the other thing as well is, then we come out and we play well against France and we play well against Portugal. So for me, when everybody says we don't have the players, then all of a sudden we're putting in these great performances. Everyone's like, "Oh, fucking, that was brilliant." I'm like, okay, well, why can't we do this against the lower teams? Because we're not set up right, we're not motivated correctly, and we're not trying as hard as we can. That has to come. That side of things has to come down to the manager. So, in my opinion, we do have the players, and people that keep saying we don't have the players, we're dog shit. It's horseshit. We have a couple of Premier League players. We've Evan Ferguson, who's one of the young hot talents of the Premier League, in the best league in the world, playing consistent enough. I suppose he's in and out of the team with Welbeck and stuff like that there as well. But we should be building this team around him now. We need to rely on him for future years. He needs to be our goal scorer. He needs to be our Robbie Keane. He needs to be someone who we can rely on for a goal. And we have to stop using this thing as we don't have the players, because we do have the players. We have Premier League players there. So I'm not accepting that anymore. We'll move on from that one, right? We'll move on to the next one. Tommy Bread 996, Lee Carsley is my choice. We spoke a little bit about him, so we'll move on again from that one. Thanks for the message or the opinion. What about this one? Sean Born 100. Gus Poyet wants the job. Did you see the quote? Well, he did say he would love. So the actual quote was, I'm making this up, so it's not the actual quote, but it's close enough to the quote. All right. He said, even when I was coming, no, I'm gonna, because I read it earlier, so I'm trying to fucking rack it off. So I'm gonna just look up into the sky. I just need to look at it.
Right on the ceiling.
So he said, even when coming from the hotel to the stadium, I saw people wearing the tracksuits, the black ones. I know Uruguay are passionate about their team, but they never wore the tracksuits. Maybe the home kit or the jersey, but not the tracksuits. And he said, I would love to manage here, and yeah, I would absolutely love it. It would be a pleasure and stuff like that. So he did say he would love it, and to me, it's throwing your name in the hat.
It's not. He's performing obviously where he is at the moment. There's a chance of getting him into the Euros. I don't think he's going to jump away. He's done a serious job at Greece. He's turned them from the whipping boys in the Nations League anyway into like a good outfit.
Yeah.
I would like to see him in the job, but I don't think he's going to want to leave if they go closer, even if they get there. They're going to want to push for the next one. And two, I can't see the Greek FA letting them walk away, to be fair.
Yeah, but I saw something now. I don't know. You might know this, and this might be fucking a myth. But apparently, if we lose against Netherlands, we have a chance of going through, and we get the next playoff spot because we would be ahead of Greece in the playoff spots. I don't know if you know anything about that. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, no. There's other teams in there that are above us that would still take them as priority in the other groups. It's not just in our group specifically.
Is it? See, I can't remember how it works. I really don't know. It changes.
It's across all of them. It's a top 4 teams that haven't qualified. Yeah, from the Nations League.
Okay, the way I saw someone had explained it on TikTok, and it was that Ireland were going to get it if Netherlands beat Holland if Netherlands beat Greece in the Euros and qualified, it would then lead to us because we are higher than Greece apparently in the rankings or something. That's why.
Yeah, we're 2 spots higher than the Greeks. I have no idea why. That's why I don't know. The world rankings are all over the kip.
I don't know why we're higher than anybody.
Gibraltar, they were postman and all last night. No,
well, look, we should.
That's what you know you're playing a bad team when every time someone gets the ball, the commentator goes, and he's a candle maker during the day. You're like,
a cobbler. Yeah. Right. So that's our thoughts on Gus Poyet. We'll move on to the next one. Connor, have you one that would like to do the honors?
Yeah, Dave the Godfather 14. Does that mean he's the 14th Godfather or he is 14?
This is Dave McCoy. I know Dave McCoy. I went to school with Dave. I don't know. Maybe he is the 14th Godfather.
Fair.
Trilogy.
What Dave thinks anyway is.
Yeah.
Don't think it matters who you get in. For me, the players are not there. Where are they, Dave?
Where are they? Where are you? See, this is the thing. I'm not accepting it anymore because I would accept it. I would have accepted it maybe 2 or 3 years ago when there was actual dog shit there. But we have decent players now, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, Kenny was doing wonders with the 21s and brought a lot of players up." Right, well, the players are in the team now. Also, if them players were any good, they would have been already in the team. So, fuck that. But the players are there now. We have Premier League players, like I said before. Ferguson, massive one. We've got Duffy there who's playing. Look, we have a Bene who's there. There's loads of players there, and there's enough, as we said already, to beat Luxembourg, to beat fucking Lithuania, to beat Greece. So they're there. They are there.
We should be. We have the players to be in the top 36 countries in Europe, and that's what you need to be to qualify for the Euros. So
exactly.
We're not the best team in Europe, but we have enough to be qualifying above the likes of Greece, or there you go, Scotland qualified with a game in hand.
Yeah. But the one thing we used to always have was heart and desire and fucking fight, and that's something we don't have now because I don't know if it's a lack of passion from the players, because half of them are English, but that there's always been that kind of thing.
You always had English players.
Yeah, it's always been that thing in the team. But is it just a lack of motivation from the manager? Is that was the whole situation where was he finding it hard initially at the start to motivate the players? And do you remember he came out with that fucking Ra song, or he played some fucking sort of song in the dressing room that pissed everybody off?
And it was Damien Duff. That's why he got fucked out.
Yeah, Duff. Yeah, Duff was gone, and then fucking I don't know. Robbie Keane was gone as well.
He's in the run to take over next.
Robbie Keane. Duff. Yeah, he's doing well at Shells. I don't know. It's that team. He's doing it at Irish level, and he'll have more respect anyway.
There'll be no rush to have from November till March to make a decision, really. So,
and a great segue into the next comment who's in from Andy McNulty, Andy25. I think leave him in till November to make sure we get the right successor. Don't rush it. So yeah, as you're saying, he is in till November. We have one competitive game left at this stage. Probably no point in sacking him. Doesn't really make sense. Let him just finish out his last game. And then the process has to start now. I would like to think that the FAI are currently getting a list of candidates. They're writing them down. Who's realistic? Who's not realistic? Can we get money from somewhere?
When you say
question number one.
When you say the FAI writing stuff down, I immediately think of a fella writing it down like a beer mat. I don't. They're so fucking slapdash. It's just like on the back of a fucking packet of smokes, like, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And then they leave the pub and they leave it there, and it just gets fucked in the bin. But no, surely they have to be in the process of doing that, like, and weighing up their options. But also that thing about funds as well. Like, are you going to try to get some sort of investment with a sponsor and stuff like that to fund actually getting a top manager in? Because, like I said, we used to have that. I know it wasn't great back in the day. There was a few fucking dodgy dealings going on, but at least we were getting like the likes of fucking Trapattoni, Mick McCarthy, and Neil Lennon, like, or Martin O'Neill, Roy Keane. So there was, like, I mean, we had decent enough managers where Stephen Kenny came in as a financial option. I think we need to. The Irish people deserve more. We deserve hope. That's all we did. That's all we've ever had. We've never had a world-class football team, but we've always had hope and a dream of fucking qualifying for a national or for an international tournament or European tournament.
We still wouldn't qualify for a national tournament.
It's just awesome. We beat ourselves. We lose 1-0.
Knocked out the first round of the FAI Cup by UCD.
We've always had hopes and we've always had hopes and fucking dreams of getting into them. And look, that's all we want as a nation. We want to get into these tournaments. We want to be competing, and we want to be, let's be honest, we want a fucking piss up in the pub. And that's the only thing we want. We want to be able to just schedule our whole life around the 3 games, the 3 group games that we draw. And that's what it is. So yeah, fuck it. Right, we'll move on to the next one. We've 2 or 3 more here. We'll get through them and then that's it. Go ahead.
World 88 says this is a grassroots problem. Oh, here we go. Not a management problem, in my opinion. Cheers, Kurt.
What do you think?
It's always going to be a grassroots problem, and everyone's going to say it's going to be a grassroots problem, no matter what country you're from. The FA have blamed recent failings on grassroots issues until they went and got to a Euro final and a World Cup semi-final. Yeah. Quarter-final. They got knocked in the fourth. But before that, when they didn't qualify for the previous World Cup, they blamed it on a grassroots issue and then put money into it. Those grassroots players weren't playing in the World Cup last year. So like they've come away from somewhere. Yes, we don't have the quality of players. We're not expecting to win the Euros. But we have enough quality on paper who are playing in top leagues to qualify above, as you mentioned, like the likes of Greece, to in our national or in our Nations League groups to beat the likes of Luxembourg, Armenia.
Yeah.
So I was going to say Malta, but we actually beat Malta 1-0 in a fucking Borefest.
What a result.
But like, yeah, there is a grassroots problem. Fine. That doesn't necessarily change for the next 10 years anyway, the top level.
When we say we have a grassroots problem, are we saying that the level of coaching at grassroots is terrible, or are we saying it's all the facilities, or are we putting it all in one big bowl and saying that that's the fucking issue? Like, what is the specific issue in grassroots that we're saying is the issue? Is it the standard of coaching? Because when you do coaching badges, you do a lot of fucking courses, and it's all pretty generic on the stuff that you would learn. Obviously, as you get more advanced, you'll get into a more technical role. But at that stage, you'll be already imagining maybe a senior team or a team that's above the age of 12, 13, where you're kind of, that is your grassroots level, like, and you start seeing players developing from that age on, and that's where you kind of need that thing. So what is it like? Is it the standard of coaching or what?
Typically, the grassroots issue was always the move from grassroots to elite football in Ireland. Yeah. Is what people saw it as, without having a direct link between clubs and the next step. So whether that be League of Ireland or international, and about obviously letting players move to England, not having the same level of control over them or coaching over them, that they end up either dropping out of football, getting injured, coming back with no interest in football, whatever it might look like. We put the link in place between clubs and League of Ireland clubs now as feeder clubs, the same way as you would have a Liverpool academy roll into a Liverpool first team. You can do the same at Kevin's to roll into those, for instance. So there's feeder clubs there in place where there is a pathway into the League of Ireland. League of Ireland needs more funding. More people need to go to League of Ireland games. FAI Cup is coming up in 3 weeks. buy tickets to the FA Cup final and try to develop that grassroots issue. That's the only way we're going to get there. So unless people go to games, it's usually the first weekend in November.
19th. It's in Tala Stadium?
No. That's the women's one. The 12th of November.
Okay. Yeah, 12th of November.
In the Aviva.
Yeah, I was thinking there's no way it was in Tala Stadium.
No.
Are you going to it? Are you going to it?
I probably will. There's still tickets available, but they've sold already. They've sold 38,000 already. So
that's good. Yeah, well, that's good. It's good sales. Right, we're gonna move on because there's a good bit. Yes, he has to go. Gus Poyet or Allardyce in, and that is in from Thompson _Elliot 92. Big Sam, actually, we mentioned him already. Big Sam was a show. He's been here before. We're gonna move on. Thomas _Quinn away. Jer Roy Keane, that's me spelling that wrong. Get Roy Keane in. Get Roy Keane in. Main man for the job. He'll whip these soccer players into shape. United. What do you think of Roy Keane coming
in? Straight away, Thomas hasn't got a clue what he's talking about because he said soccer players, which means he's a GA man. So disregard it completely straight away.
And he supports United.
I don't even mind that. It's when he said soccer players, it means he likes GA more than he likes football.
I was going to mix it up because I knew you were going to jump on that. I was going to mix it up and say, you know what, I'm going to protect Thomas here and I'll stick football in. But I said, you know what, you've sent it in. That's on you.
Keane had a falling out the last time he was here. He had a falling out the time before as a player. He hasn't managed since. I don't know if I could bring him in just to start throwing the book around to know what you're going to get out of players then. You're going to motivate players or not? No. Has he got even a football identity, what he wants to play? I don't think so. I don't know. He's better than what's there now, 100%. But
well, he'll command respect. That's the one thing.
He'll also command a massive wage.
Yeah, exactly.
For that money, because you're not getting a more experienced manager in.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going to move off that because we spent a good bit of time on that one. Connor, we're going to move into the one thing that has been haunted me for the last week as a fantasy football. It hasn't really been haunting me, but I was just trying to fill in a gap there. So, yeah.
Made a Halloween joke.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. So this is it. So we're going to have a look at the fantasy football. We'll pull it up on the screen. Anyone that's listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your beautiful podcasts, we're on YouTube, so you can look at it if you want. And if you're there, subscribe because you're gay. Don't know what I said that. We'll edit that bit out. Connor, I played me wild card this week. 44 points was the average. I got 43. So didn't help.
Well, no, sorry, I played it after this game week.
Oh, okay. Lennon goal, 2 points. I always had him. Zuma, 1 point. Bourne, 1 point. Colwell, 2 points. Son as captain, brought him in, thought he was going to be great, 6 points. Mudryk I brought in thinking, right, he's after scoring in his last game. He's going to be brilliant. Dropped. Played about 15 minutes. Maddison I brought in 6 points. I'm happy bringing Maddison in because he's a good assist getter. Then we've Salah 15 points, Alvarez 2 points, Ollie Watkins 5 points, and Haaland 2 points. I've Chukwuemeka on the bench with 0 points, Taylor 0, and Lamptey 0. A Turner in goal on the bench, 6 points. We'll jump on to your team. I'm top of our leaderboard here with the three of us. Actually, me and Paddy are the exact same points. We'll have a quick look at Paddy's team first. He 39 points. He Pope and goal, got 1 point. He had Saliba who got him 7. He had Young. That's a weird one. I haven't seen many people.
All the fucking United rejects.
I know, yeah. Yeah. He's got Young with 5 points. He's got White with 9. Rashford 2. Fernandez 2. Matoma 2. Ward-Prowse 2. Son 3. Haaland 2. And then he still has Highland up top with 4 points. And he captained him, so he got 2 points realistically. He's got Evan Ferguson, Botman, and Gusto on his bench.
Pickford on the bench?
Pickford on the bench with 9 points. So opportunity missed for Paddy. Connor, we'll jump on to your team if you want to run through us here. So we've got...
Can do. I got Fnor points.
Fnor. It's not bad.
I had Areola in goal for 1. Kufal 5, Dan Burn 1, Joachim Anderson 6, Kyle Walker 2, Salah with 15, Billy Gilmore with big fat 0.
Sorry,
didn't play, did he? Cheers. So you got booked. Son with 3, Ollie Watkins with 5, Haaland as captain with 4, and Archer with 2. I got stung a little bit because Eze's out injured, Saka's out injured, and Baldock is out injured.
You know, you played your wild card. You could have taken Eze back out before it started. Yeah, there you go. The more you know.
He's going to be back fit, though, so like I'm leaving him there.
No, I think he's out for a long term. I think he's out. He's out at least 4 weeks, I think. 11th of November. That's another month. Yeah, so that's going to be your next sub, I'd say. Right, so that's your team. 1 point more than me, so well done. We'll have a look at the overall league here and see who is leading. And the leader is Ross Cudahy. Okay, yes, he could. 545 points in first. Then we have RJK, 525. Then Gareth Bennett is in third with 524. Dean Fletcher is in fourth with 512. Paul Brady in fifth with 508. Collie Lamb is also in fifth with 508. Has been sixth. Kieran Styles, who sent us in a message there earlier, 506 with 7. Francis Bellardi in 8th with 502. John Hudson in 9th with 498. And then Tony Tam in 10th with 495. So that's it. That's our fancy football. We'll have a...
I feel shit now because I said Kieran doesn't know ball and he's like 8th.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I don't know if that one. No, Kieran is our English.
Okay. Well, then that mind.
Yeah. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna try find the other guy. That's at soccer and see if he's in the league, and I'll bring it up. Right, Connor, we're gonna jump on to the predictions. Right, we'll fly through this. We won't be spending too long. We'll have a quick talk about 1 or 2 of them, and then we'll move on, and we'll probably wrapped up here in the next 10 minutes or so. So the first one is Liverpool versus Everton, 12:30 on a Saturday. Liverpool again, the early game after the international break. Klopp will have a little moan. Connor, what do you think?
Right to have a moan. Why do we keep getting the fucking early game after an international?
Here we go.
Jurassic Park, cheers.
Yeah, playing on the violin though. That's the only thing I can think of that's probably playing on the violin.
Everton off the back of a good result before the international break. Liverpool off kind of a poor run of form, if you want to call the Spurs molestation by the referees, and not a bad draw. I would have taken a draw against Brighton before the game, to be fair. Going into it, hopefully everyone has stayed fit throughout the international break. There's still games obviously on tonight as well. Probably won't play any of the South Americans, which is going to be a loss. You're going to lose the likes of Nunez, Diaz, maybe Alisson from your starting team. Obviously, Andy Robertson is out injured after what looks like maybe dislocating his shoulder or something at the weekend.
Did you do that with Scotland?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. How did I miss that?
Yeah, so Kostas Tsimikas is going to be presumably coming in at left full, which is okay because he had a good weekend anyway because he fucking bashed Ireland around. Yeah. I think it's going to be a tight game. Merseyside derbies usually are, especially in that early kickoff after an international. Still think Liverpool have enough to do them in. Can still conceding first. So I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool. And I'm going to say Cody Gakpo. No, he's out injured. Take that back. He's out injured still. Oh. I'm going to say Ryan Gravenberch.
Oh, right. Okay. Look, I think Liverpool are going to win this one. I just think it's going to be comfortable. I just think Everton are fucking struggling this year, and I just don't see them putting it up. So I think Liverpool will be firing at the weekend, and I'm going to say a 3-1 win, and I'm going to say Jota to score. Jota's not injured, isn't he? No?
I think so. I fucking hope not. Everyone else is.
I think he's all right. I'm going to say Jota to score. Next one is Bournemouth versus Wolves. How do you see this one going?
Fucking shite game. Let's be real.
Yeah, Dort.
Bournemouth playing some of the worst football I've seen in a long time in the last couple of games. Wolves finally starting to get results. Obviously beat City not too long ago. Got a draw in their last game, I think, against Villa.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, tight game. Nothing really in it.
Wolves,
tight game. Not what you think it is. You fucking have a little stand on off your Juve now so you can sniff it.
Oh, that's great. It's fucking great.
Can't find mine.
Dave.
Give me a shout, Dave. I'm going to say Wolves 1-0, and I'm going to back my boy Hwang.
Go on the Hwang, massive Hwang. Yeah, like I said, Wolves were going to be getting relegated. I don't know if I'm going to stand by that one now. Although they're only 4 points off relegation. Like there is quite a tight little gap there, a tight little snatch there between the whole lot of them. But I do think Wolves are going to struggle for the rest of the season, but I think they're going to win this game. I think it's going to be 2-1. I'm going to say Neto to score because Neto is a fabulous player and he definitely should be at a better team than Wolves. So we'll move on. Another shy poxy game, Brentford versus Burnley. Connor, give us a score prediction on this. Don't really want to dick around on this one.
No, I was just having a look. Brentford are missing 14 players through injury or suspension for this game.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So 3-0 to Brentford, and
there's 13 of them injured. There's one out for disciplinary, Aaron Hickey, and then obviously Ivan Toney for having a few little bets. I'm gonna say Brentford's 2-0, and I'm gonna just double check and make sure he's not injured. And I'm gonna go with this at the score.
Okay. Yeah, what about Tonali also having a gambling problem?
Yeah, and all of a sudden now gambling is mental health issues.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Oh yeah, I've got one as well. I've got a gambling problem.
Ivan Toney's like, I bet you I have a mental health issue.
He's like, I'm not gonna wing this one out and fucking claim it in a court or something and get myself back in. So yeah, football's good for me mental health. That's the fucking cure for it. Yeah, I see this one possibly being a 1-1 draw. I don't know if Brentford are going to beat them here. I did say I'd expected a bit more from Burnley this season. I feel like I'm gonna get it soon, maybe up on the lead up to Christmas, possibly. We did bash them in the last game 4-1, but that's because we're class. I'm gonna say 1-1. I'm gonna say Jensen to score for Brentford. Next one, Manchester City versus Brighton. How do you see this one going? Manchester City shy, and Brentford getting a good result against Liverpool. So what do you think?
Again, just looking at it because obviously international breaks throw loads up. Lamptey out injured, Estupiñán out injured, and Matoma out injured for Brighton.
You know, Lamptey hasn't been playing that often anyway. So
no, he hasn't.
But
Estupiñán out and Matoma out.
Estupiñán is suspended. Am I right in saying that? He got sent off. Did he not?
Thigh injury.
Oh, thigh injury. Oh,
thigh.
Okay.
And then obviously Matoma did some serious damage against Liverpool. So, and after a poor result for City before the break, I think this is one of those ones where they come out firing and they just turn Brighton over at home just to try to get the fucking foot back on the pedal. I'm going to say 3-0 City, and I'm going to back Alvarez. No, he won't play probably because he's traveling back from fucking Argentina. I'm going to back Haaland.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's not what I want to hear because I have Alvarez in my team. So, yeah, I do think Man City are going to bash them though. I think. Do you know what I think? Right, I think Brighton are going to be very good against a lot of teams, but they're also going to take a couple of spankings during the season.
They're smashed by Villa, wasn't it?
Yeah, 6-1 or something like that. So, I think there is a few spankings to be dished out to them. So I'm going to go with this one being another spanking. I'm going to say 4-0 to Man City, and I'm going to say. Let's go with Phil Foden to score because Haaland is too obvious. Right, next one is Newcastle and Crystal Palace. What do you think of this one?
So about the fucking injuries, I'm not going to lie. What the fuck is going on?
Hit the
Newcastle are missing Joe Linton, Botman, Barnes, Tonali for personal reasons, Joe Willock, and Alexander Isak.
That is a lot.
And not even close to how many Palace are missing, including obviously like Eze, Decore, Schlupp, Lima.
Schlupp, you dope.
So like fucking madness. It has to be all this extra time and all these fucking extra games that are being played. But anyway, Newcastle at home, they made it a fucking cauldron when PSG went there, whatever that was, a week and a half ago. So I am going to say Newcastle will win. I think it's going to be tight. I'm going to say 2-1. And I'm going to back Callum Wilson because I don't know who else is going to play up top for them otherwise. Yeah,
I was thinking the same as well because I do think they're going to get a win here. I think Palace may struggle without that creativeness of Eze. I think they're really going to struggle to score goals. So depending, they need to get him back as soon as possible. I think did we have a look and we said it was going to be a month? Was it a month or something like that?
Yeah, 17th, wasn't it? 17th.
11th. So I think they're going to struggle to be creative. So I think Newcastle are going to win this one. I think they're going to win it 2-0. I don't think Palace are going to score. I'm going to go for Wilson myself because I don't know where else the goals are going to come from.
I'm sorry, Wilson.
What's on? Next one is Forest and Luton. What a game this is. How do you think this one's going?
It's got to be Forest, doesn't it? I
think so.
No matter what game I watch, even like Luton playing against 10-man Wolves didn't look like they were going to win from being 1-0 up. And they didn't. So, Forest at home. Yeah, I'm going to say Forest will win 2-0, and I'm going to back Awoni top.
Do you know what, right? I'm going to say, because again, I just don't fancy Luton this season. Although they've picked up 4 points, which is 4 points more than I thought they were ever going to pick up. I think Forest are going to beat them. I think they're going to beat them 2-1. And I'm going to go with oi, Hudson-Odoi. Callum Hudson-Odoi.
You're not going to back.
Oh, what the fuck is that? Do you know what? It makes me sick. It does. It does make me sick when I see people doing that. The Guidi. Did he just hit the Guidi on me? Right, on to the next one.
Chelsea.
Colly,
open up there. Go on, dive in head first.
Chelsea. We are back. Chelsea are back. 2 wins in a row. The international break came at the worst possible moment for us. We finally picked up points and we get fucking pulled away from each other. I'd say Poch is livid. Poch is livid, right? So he's going to be angry. And you know what? He's going to be aggressive. And that's why he's going to set up his team against Arsenal. He's going to be aggressive. But we're probably still going to lose. No, I'm not. I'm back in Chelsea here. I think Chelsea can turn them over. Chelsea usually do okay in these big matches. Look, not recently. I just can't let the facts fucking over. Like the facts went over me heart. But I'm still going to back Chelsea, but just because I think we're a better team. 2-1. I'm going to say 2-1 to Chelsea. I'm going to say Cole Palmer. Can I just say, what a fucking signing Cole Palmer is.
He's out injured.
He's not out injured. Is he lying to me now?
He's listed on Live Score as being out injured with a leg injury, and so is Nicholas Jackson with a wrist injury.
I'm not having it. I'm not having it because he played for the under 21s, the England 21s, and I didn't see any issues. So I'm sticking with it. Cole Palmer. Yeah. He's our best signing, I think, so far. He's the most creative player we have at the club. He needs to start every single game. Poch is finally seeing that, and he's starting him every game, which is great. So, Chelsea have scored 6 goals in the last 2 games, which has been outrageous because I haven't celebrated so much in so long, and it makes me so happy. So, yeah, I'm gonna say 2-1 to Chelsea. What do you think? What do you think, Conor?
Chelsea at home against traditional top 4. It's a draw. It's always a draw. It's draw written all over it. It's a 1-1 draw. And I'm going to say Raheem Sterling.
Raheem,
I would say Martinelli, but then I get all about Martinelli playing on the Saturday after an international break, traveling back. So
fair.
Saka's probably still out injured, I'm guessing.
He's yellow in fantasy football. I don't know how true that is.
So I'm going to back Sterling. He's been in a decent run of form because he kind of has to be because no one else will put the ball in the net.
Can I just say, right, this is probably the best football Sterling has played since the season that Man City won the league and he scored about 400 goals. This is the best football I've seen him playing. He's
only played at Chelsea since.
Yeah, but he played the season at Chelsea last week. He's been phenomenal. Raheem the Dream. Right, we'll move on. Next one, Sheffield United and Manchester United. Do you see Manchester United beating them here? Because
you fucking have to. Like,
no. I called it last week.
I do think it's going to be tight. No word of a lie. I think it's going to be a bit of a fortress cauldron, and it's going to be like one of those atmospheres. Set up for you like a late United goal, like a 72nd minute penalty or something. So I'm going to say 1-0 United, and I'm going to say Penandes.
Can we just talk about for 1 second how lucky they were last week? Well, the week before, we'll say last week, it was whenever they played against Brentford, with Scott McTominay scoring 2 goals in the last fucking 10 minutes. Like, what a it's ridiculous.
And then he went on, and then he went on to play for Scotland against Spain, and he looked like fucking Beckenbauer. He looked unreal. He might be a new player.
I don't know what's going on there, but fucking he needs to be drug tested anyway. I think this is gonna be a 1-1 draw here, right? I know United fans are gonna hate me for this one, but I'm saying a 1-1 draw, and I'm seeing a Rashford goal, and I'm seeing them controlling the game for the most of it, and Unagi. And I'm going to see a Sheffield United goal in the 86th minute and 32 seconds. And look, we live at that. An own goal, because I don't know I need to play.
What I do know is George Baldock is still out injured because he wasn't fit for the Greeks at the weekend. So,
oh yeah, that's a bizarre one.
Didn't know he was from fucking.
Didn't know he was Greek.
Zakynthos.
Yeah, I mean you wouldn't think it. No. Right. Last one. Oh no, it's not the second last one.
Second last.
Aston Villa versus West Ham. What do you think?
We'll be nice and punchy here, and we'll just say 1-1 Ollie Watkins.
I'm going 2-2 in this one, and I think Ward-Prowse will score for the Hammers.
Next Alex, there's only one game on Sunday and one game on Monday. Like, yeah, let's just fill Sunday up a little bit. Yeah,
it's harsher. Spurs and Fulham. I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to say a bashing. I'm going to say 4-1 to Spurs, and I'm going to say Kulusevski because he's been in flying form for them. He's been playing great. What do you think?
Yeah, still can see them conceding because I don't think they're not great at the back. So I'm going to say 3-1 Spurs, and I'm going to back Peng James Maddison.
Okay, I like it. Hopefully he does score because I've got him in my fantasy. Connor, that's it. We've run our course. The podcast has come to an end. It's been emotional
forever
and ever. Thanks for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been good. Nice to be back. Fuck international breaks, by the way.
Oh, do you know what? There's another international break coming up in fucking November.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off. Like, just, you know what? Just fuck off, internationals. Right. If you're still listening to this, you get a fucking life. Also, hit subscribe and then follow us on Spotify, Apple, and rate us 5 stars and do all that fucking deadly stuff because we're legends.
If you're still here, message Colly saying Chelsea are shite and I'll give you a $5.
Oh, I'm clipping that. I can't. It's not fair. I won't clip it.
I said Colly, I'll give you a $5. I'm not giving him a $5.
Oh, no. All right, sorry. I thought you said that you'll give him a $5.
Clip it.
I was about to cost you a fortune there.
Should have let you do it, and then you were like, "Oh, bollocks."
Oh, fuck. No, you're not getting a $5 off me. But anyway, it's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed listening to our beautiful voices. We will be back next week, hopefully with a very sad Big Paddy after United lose. And hopefully with a sad... Well, look, I just hope they lose, you know. Yeah, that's it. Look, I'm ending the podcast here, so I'm just rambling. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you next week. Fuck, I forgot how to end it. Hold on a sec now. Hold on a sec there, folks. Normal service has resumed, and we'll see you next week.